Amnesia has been one of the most terrifying franchises to ever exist. At least for me. With their first game, Dark Descent, being released back in 2010, fans have loved the series. Now I own all of them, but I have a very hard time getting through the originals, because I am terrified. So I'm playing the one, so far, that I could manage to get through, which is Amnesia the Bunker. This game was released in 2023 as the latest installment in this series. It differs from the rest in a lot of ways, but still has the same premise and scare factor that we all see in the rest. So I am super excited to cover this one. So without a further ado, here is my review of Amnesia the Bunker. Let's get into it. The game takes place in a World War I bunker in France. You play as a man named Henry Clement, a soldier who wakes up with amnesia, of course, in what seems to be an abandoned bunker. Henry must now explore this bunker, find the clues to what happened here, and escape. Though it seems Henry is not alone. Oh, he is far from alone. Is that good? I wanted to add a bit of a spook factor here, you know? Anyways, moving on. The story is actually really good. The intro is fantastic and it just gets better as you play. Each Amnesia game follows the same pattern. You wake up with no memories and now you must explore and fight your way to escape the monsters. You think that would be a repetitive thing, but fictional games found a way to make it seem new. I know each one takes place in different eras, but they are all just so cool and unique, even though it's basically the same premise for every one. The scare factor in this game is one that is amazing as well. I mean, I believe the reason I get so scared when I play any of these games is that I can't fight back. Every other one, like Resident Evil or Silent Hill, I can fight back, but in Amnesia, you'll only have an option to run. It's even worse in this one, because they give you a gun, but it does nothing towards the monster. It's more of a tool than a weapon. Amnesia usually has a lot to offer in the gameplay department. They just pack so much stuff into their games, and I love it. From the puzzles to the interactive objects, items to enemies, they even give you various ways to hide and protect yourself. So let's talk about combat, and the fact that there is none. As I said before, Amnesia doesn't ever really give you a chance to fight and kill monsters. They just give you stuff to distract and annoy them enough for you to run. Amnesia the Bunker has various items that can be used to help fend off monsters from eating your face off. One is the gun, of course, though, like I said before, this is more of a tool than a weapon. You get a small revolver that you can use in various ways. One use is to shoot locks or explosive items to unlock or destroy certain paths. Another is to stun the beast long enough for you to get a head start in the chase. It might even just crawl back into its hole, if you're lucky. Now, the only thing you can semi-kill with the gun is the rats. They crawl out of the same hole the beast does and nibble on the corpses nearby. You can shoot one and kill it, but it will just be replaced by another one. So I just try my best to ignore them or just use a torch and scare them away. The grenades are another great option to use when you're trying to defend yourself. There are two types, the good old-fashioned grenade and the gas grenade. You can already guess what the first one does, of course. Now the gas grenade can be used to kill a group of rats or to send the beast back into its hole so you can run. There are other ways to defend yourself, but that's really it. There isn't a true way to go on the attack at this game. You have to do your best to fight back the beast and survive. Now the game has some really cool mechanics that make Amnesia so much fun. There's a lot you have to keep track of to beat this game. The first is the main part, the generator, which is the most terrifying. The game has a generator that you have to keep running in order for the lights to stay on. The lights are what keep the beast at bay, but once they are off, it gets a lot harder to walk around. There are gas cans that are randomly placed around the map. Each can fills up about a quarter of the tank. You also have a watch that you can use in order to keep track of how much fuel you have left. Now there is a way to get fuel from a different source, but it's not exactly easy to get to. So it's super important to have a few gas cans on standby to keep that bad boy running. But don't worry, if the lights do go out, you just have your trusty dusty wind-up flashlight to keep you safe. If you do alert the beast to your presence, then the game offers multiple spots to hide, under the tables, in the cabinets, or just hide in the dark and don't move. I don't think the beast can see, so as long as you don't make noise, you should be fine. The game also gives you a main safe room that has the generator, storage, map, and save point. The bunker is divided into 7 main parts, each with its own map you need to find in order to navigate. The place is huge, so it's a lot to explore, and there isn't really any autosave. So if you die, you respawn back in the safe room, which just adds more tension to your playthrough. The storage, when used properly, is a valuable asset. At the beginning, you don't have a lot of inventory space. You do get to increase your space later on, but those slots can fill up quickly early on in the game. I personally rarely use storage, but that's just because I would just drop stuff all over the place when I needed room, and that bit me in the butt a lot. So don't do that. As I said, Frictional Games packs a lot of stuff into Amnesia, and it makes for an awesome experience. You constantly play on edge, peeking around every corner, just trying your best to survive. And I love it. Great job. Frictional Games created a masterpiece when it comes to the atmosphere and graphics of this game. There is so much detail and love that was put into the design, from the bunker itself all the way to the individual rats that we see crawling around. The game takes place in World War I France, like I said before, right in the trenches. Once you wake up in the bunker, you are just left with this dark and damp place that just chills you to the bone. As you walk through, you just see the amazing features and design that makes it so creepy. I also love how they keep it dark, even with the lights on. It makes you stay on edge, not knowing what is lurking in the dark, watching and waiting. Now, I usually don't talk about the sound design in this game, but I feel it necessary because it's a huge part. The beast reacts to sound, so the slightest bump may give away your position. Every creak and groan is amplified, so you just freeze when you accidentally knock something over. I absolutely love this decision they took. Something that a lot of people don't really give any thought to, and it turned into something that people have to recognize in this game. The monster design is also fantastic and creepy. The beast is really cool. You just get a glimpse of him here and there, unless you decide to get up close and personal, but I wouldn't recommend that one. Anyway, it's really cool to see. It strikes fear into you every time you see him walk across the screen or if you see him in the corner of your eye. Very cool. The graphics and design is absolutely amazing and horrifying. Frictional Games did a fantastic job with the creation of this game. That just adds such a fear factor with every playthrough. Great job. Amnesia the Bunker was a phenomenal game that truly terrified me. Every aspect was amazing, and even though I was extremely scared, I didn't want to stop playing. I could really notice how much care was put into this. As always, if you guys have a different opinion or if you just think I missed something, let me know. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!